Is the Toys R Us bankruptcy still topical? Because I have a Toys R Us figure for you. Here we have Transformers The Last Knight Deluxe Class Skullitron. Now, Skullitron was part of the Toys R Us exclusive promotion Mission to Cybertron series. He was released alongside a figure of Megatron that was just, a repaint of Generation's Thrilling 30 Megatron with a new head, as well as the Combiner Infernicus, who was just a repaint / remold of Prime Abominus. And I must say, Skullitron is pretty damn good. He is a repaint of the Last Knight Steelbane, who was a pretty bad figure, mostly because of his quality control issues. But Skullitron here fixes most of those issues. See, he's not that floppy. He's a little floppy here, but not. He can hold that, but not too well. He can. This one's tight. This ball joint here. The wings here are the loose ones, but for the most part, he fixes the issues. Now let's look at his dragon mode, which is a really big, it's like really long. Like, look at this. Look at this. Let's get the size comparison out the way. Let's look at Bumblebee here from Dark of the Moon. And yeah, Skullitron here is quite a bit longer than Bumblebee. And let's take other Bumblebee here. Lay him down. He's still longer. So he does not disappoint. Now, one thing that separates him from Steelbane, besides the quality control issues, is the amazing paintwork on this figure. Nearly every surface of him is covered in copper paint, which is then brushed with this really nice green to make it look tarnished, and is just really great, especially on these pauldrons here. I really love the effect. And we'll see even more of this in robot mode. On his wing here, it's made out of bendy plastic. You can see a little bit of Cybertronian writing on it. It's a little hard to read because of all the sculpted detail, which is really nice and crisp and abundant. And his head sculpt, I don't really like his head sculpt. It looks a bit goofy for a dragon or wyvern. It's on a nice ball joint, and the copper paint is still there, and it has some nice red eyes. It's on a ball joint here. The mouth can open and close on a hinge, and there is a sculpted tongue inside. Yeah. And then the head can also be on this hinge for the neck, and then another hinge here, and then a ball joint at the base. Each wing, there's a ball joint at the shoulder, and then a hinge at the elbow. Nothing at the foot, but the wings can also move a full 360, though I don't really want to move them right now. Ball joint at the rear legs, thigh swivel, ratcheted knee, well, it's a detented knee, and then a foot swivel, and then it can go up, I guess. And then another ball joint at the base of the tail, another hinge, and then this part is also detented, so I guess you could move that if you really wanted to. Overall, he's pretty posable and not nearly as floppy as his original counterpart. So he can pull off some poses, though these wings, these wyvern wings, get in the way a lot. It's either banging into the pauldrons at the back, and it's just unsightly. He comes with one accessory. He comes with this rubber sword. As you can see, there's some nice sculpted detailing all along the length of the sword. Sorry, I have a shaky hand. But yeah, it's really nice sculpted detailing, though I don't like the look of it. It just kind of looks like Just kind of looks like a dried turd, honestly. It's very unsightly. You can peg it onto him, I'm pretty sure, by this peg going into this hole here. So yeah, you can store it in wyvern mode like that, but it doesn't look very good. Let's just leave it off to the side and get Skullitron into his robot mode. So one thing about this transformation that is good to know is that there's no exact order of operations, so just bear with me a little. Let's get the first leg transformed. You want to ratchet up the tail section and then fold the foot down, and then in the head, flip the horns forward, turn the head 180 degrees, then fold it into the calf, and then fold the foot out. Okay, and then you want to take these wings and then just, you know, get them out of the way, and that'll help. See, this ball joint here can't really support the weight of the whole arm assembly. So what you want to do next is bring the legs out and then take the panel that they're on, bring that down, and then you want to take the whole back assembly and then flip it like this. And while you do that, you want to turn the neck assembly 90 degrees so that the hole faces the butt, and then turn the leg there. And then you want to bring this assembly and then turn it towards you, and then flip it around the body, and then spin the leg, and then you want to click it into place with the other one. And here's robot mode is starting to come to shape. Next you want to bring this whole assembly down, and then you want to bring his wing assembly up, and then you want to fold this piece in, and you want to peg the two assemblies together. Hold on. It's a little mushy, and it requires the friction of both sides to be able to lock into place. And then, now for his arms, you want to bring his arms down, twist his wrist so that it's facing the right way, and then close the arm guard over it. And then do the same on the other one. And now for the wings, you can kind of do whatever you want with them. I like to fold them up like so, and then align them like this so that they're pointing nearly straight up, sort of like a winged hussar or something. It just looks really cool. And the backpack got untabbed again. That's another one of the issues of this mold. The backpack isn't very sturdy, though sometimes I'm able to finagle it so that it's like rock solid, though that's few and far between. And here we have Skullitron in his robot mode. Let's get the size comparisons out the way. Here we have him with Bumblebee in vehicle mode. See, he's quite a lot taller than Bumblebee compared to robot mode Bumblebee. He's a bit shorter. Yeah, deluxes have been getting kind of smaller recently, especially movie figures. So he still has that one accessory, of course. It's that sword, and he can hold it in his hand, and it actually looks pretty good. It looks pretty good holding it. And once again, the backpack has come undone. So he can hold his sword pretty well, but I don't really like his sword. It's a poop sword. Now, as I said earlier, we can now see a lot more of that tarnished copper effect going on his robot mode bits, as you can see here. It's really, really impressive. When I first got this figure, I was astounded by this paintwork. It was, oh man. And here we can see his head sculpt is really ugly because he's been decomposing for a couple thousand years inside a very damp and dank spaceship. And I think it's a really nice head sculpt, especially from what I've seen in the movie. And we got that piercing red eye in there. It's a really nice paint app. Overall, I think the whole paint application aesthetic reminds me of a transforming Statue of Liberty because of the copper. It's really nice. Now, these wings here, again, they're posable. Like you can have them out and down, but I really like to keep them up, like I said. More so, it keeps the wings kind of out of the way, and also it just looks really cool. Like, I love this look. And let's get into posability here. His head is on a ball joint, but it's kind of really stiff. And it doesn't so much move freely, so much as, you know, there's certain points where it stops based on the inertia that you put into it. Should I say momentum? What am I talking about? Ball-jointed shoulders, though it's a bit limited because of these pauldrons, though they can get out of the way for some, you know, more outward poses. He has a bicep swivel, though his wrist swivel is a bit looser than that. You know, now that I say that, it doesn't want to go. Oh well. And he has detented elbow joints, so those elbows are not going anywhere. Oh man. And again, it got untabbed from the backpack. He has no waist joint because of his transformation, and I don't see how they could have been able to make a waist joint, because you need to cut there, and that would have made everything even more fragile. But he has ball-jointed hips that have a pretty good range, and they're not that loose. And he has a really nice knee bend, and a ball-jointed foot connected to a detented hinge, so it can go anywhere you want, and it'll hold. Overall, Skullitron has his faults, like his goddamn backpack, but overall, I'd say Skullitron here is a damn good figure, and worth your money, except for the fact that, you know, he comes from Toys R Us, and everything from Toys R Us is so goddamn expensive. But if you find him on sale online, or even at the store for sale, I would really, really highly suggest picking him up, because he is pretty damn good. This has been Starboy with another review, and I hope you like it. I know I do. Ha ha. See you later.